In there and then.
Sure.
Yeah, you can do it. Just get it ready.
Unless you
You need to hold it until you get it ready.
Yeah, what if you eat it before you get your hand out of there?
Oh, it's already going? Dork, please.
Is it on record?
Yeah.
get the most damn set.
Yeah.
So what do you mean you didn't play quite as
This thing's
smart?
so
I know
ugly.
you were not sure exactly what you were going to see from Virginia. How did you feel you did reacting? And
Here, babe. It's all yours. I don't want that. He's not even doing anything.
You don't see it in there yet.
thanks, Mark. Congratulations.
Here.
Congratulations, Janine. Thank you very much. The final here from Charlottesville. Virginia, as they fall to Oregon 59-10. Greg Cunningham and Janine Edwards and our entire crew. This is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody. Now back to the studio.
Thank you so much. We start with Florida and South Carolina. The Bulldogs play host and trying to bounce back from a tough week one loss to Clemson. Connor Shaw and Nick Jones 18 yards, and Gentlemen were tied at 17.
Connor Shaw enters this game 18-3 as a starter. You can see he continues to improve his passing efficiency. I love this throw. Good read. It's the right matchup. Drops the ball in the bucket there to Jones for the 6.
27-24 to score as it stands right now. This game currently on ESPN. I'm waiting next along with Todd McShay and Robert Smith. And we've seen just about everything. You know, for the second straight week, Georgia's in a game that not only has huge implications, but also lived up to the hype.
Yeah, it absolutely has. And part of it's because the defense has been inconsistent, but also part of it's because they've made some big plays when they needed to. So both weeks, you've seen them look great at times, but we've also seen some inconsistency. Let's face it, this is a young team on the defensive side. A lot of players with talent that are just starting to mature. We can see the talent. We can see some of those young errors, especially in coverage. Yeah, and when you look at this Georgia team coming into this game, going back to the Clemson game, a lot of leakage along that offensive line for Georgia at times in that Clemson game. We thought possibly going into this game today against South Carolina with so much talent. We all know about Jadeveon Clowney, we talk about Sutton and Coral Dixon, a lot of great players along that defensive line. You thought that Georgia might not be able to hold up. But they haven't proven it clearly, but they've had great plays out of their backs today. Everybody knows about Todd Gurley and Keith Marshall, but that offensive line has been performing pretty well and giving Aaron Murray chances today.
And it's interesting, we talked about it earlier, it all is not lost with Georgia just because they lost in week one. Given what we've seen around the landscape, if they get by South Carolina, all right then.
Well, they've seen this picture before. We saw it 2 years ago. They started off 0-2, and they lost to Boise State, and then they lost to South Carolina. They were able to come back and towards the end of the year, get into the SEC championship game and end up losing to LSU. So they've seen this before. That being said, your hopes for a national championship, well, I guess they wouldn't, not necessarily, they aren't necessarily, but they're greatly reduced if you lose the second game. Right. If you win the SEC championship, you're going to that particular game. Not necessarily. I mean, I think you have to absolutely lock that in. Even if they ain't an SEC champion gets into the national championship. Over what? Over a one loss? Yes. Absolutely.
Here's the good news.
7 in a row. I wish I knew we were talking about this before. There's no chance. There's 2 loss. You told me a 2-loss team is going to get in over an undefeated, say, Pac-10 or Pac-12 or Big 12 or... Yeah. Yes, I think so.
All right, we digress. This is good news. It's all right. We're going to be tomorrow. We've got a weather delay. We've got a game, so hold tight.
Good.
We'll have your say. Speaking of having their say, the Oregon offense apparently has had theirs, and they're saying we picked up right where we left off last season. The number 2 judge on the road in Charlottesville, Virginia. Marcus Mariota and company just scoring early and often at will. First quarter, as we look via ESPN access.
Yeah, and you can see on this axis play, all the Virginia players locked up in coverage, but they don't take care of the middle of the field. Marcus Mariota, 4.4 speed, takes off, goes untouched to the end zone. It is absolutely insane, the kind of speed that they did out there in Oregon. You look back to Michael James, look at the Anthony Thomas, see Marcus Mariota. They got this young kid, Thomas Heiner, and here's the Anthony Thomas scooped up to the sideline, tightrope it in and getting it in.
And again, Oregon off to a 2-0 start, and plenty of points, as you would expect from the Oregon team. Certainly,
Missed the high five there.
it was there. It was there. That is what you come to expect from Oregon under Chip Kelly. It continues in his absence. He forced him going to the NFL. The final tally 59-10. And now Oregon moves on to face Tennessee. And you know, it looks like very well to be a 3-0 start. But we'll wait until next week. Ohio State, by the way, got past Buffalo last week. No problem. However, and after, there wasn't the well-oiled machine Urban Meyer wanted to see. There were some kinks to work out. So in week 2, here's Braxton Miller. Rushes the ball, but he goes down. You can see he's hit at all angles. He was carted off the field with a knee injury. He did not return, Robert, to this game.
Yeah, everybody sees the helmet come off and they instantly think that it's a head injury, but apparently it was the MCL, the inside part of his left knee. But he probably could have come back if he needed to, but when you got a guy like Kenny Guyton as your backup, no need to even put him in there.
That was Guyton to Philly Brown. Ohio State with a 14-0 lead. 5.5 minutes left in the first half.
Is Charlotte still at its tail? It's been at the tail for like 10 minutes now. That took a while.
You never know when you're going to need someone to come in a key moment, not against San Diego State. And Guyton, last year, we resurrected Purdue. This year, stepping in today, looks
All I can see is this
very
one.
capable backup who brings that dual threat ability. Clearly not Braxton Miller, but talented nonetheless.